Hey everyone, welcome back. This week was kind of similar to last week in a way. Nothing massive landed, no big shiny feature or anything like that. It was more just systems that were already there, starting to actually hook into each other properly. The big one was the crops. Before this, they were basically running on their own little timers. Each crop was just doing its own thing in isolation. It worked fine for testing and proof of concept, but it always felt a bit fake. So I ripped that out and tied crop growth directly into world time instead, like everything else in the game is. Which means if a day moves forward, the crop moves with it. If you leave the area and come back later, they've progressed. They're not just waiting there for you, instantly grown. Time actually passes, and it feels like it does too. While I was doing that, I added turnips and wheat as well. It seemed like a simple little progression system, and it fits into the rule of 3 that Evergreen MVP is being built on. And wheat kind of pushed the other change. Optionally, flatbread was something you could craft using wheat, but you had to craft it at the workbench. And the more and more I did it, it just didn't make as much sense as making it cook on the campfire, like pork does. That's where I made the distinction that all food should be cooked at the campfire. End of story. Simple, systematic, binary, done. And after I made that distinction, the campfire got a bit of love this week as well. Different recipes now have their own cook times. There's a little bit of smoke when something's cooking just to give some visual feedback, and then a little sizzle then when it's finished cooking. It just seems like a nice coherent loop. Another thing that got fixed this week was the farmland. There was this bug where you could till the soil multiple times and improve it in theory, but then as soon as you planted something on it, it reverted back to its, say, tilled but unworked state. So now it actually sticks. Normal soil gives you 1 crop, worked soil gives you 2, and properly prepared soil gives you the best yield, which is 3. Midweek I also realised that the forest didn't have enough stuff in it. It looked quite bare and unpolished. You could play perfectly until about midday, but then you'd hit a wall and you'd be just kind of trying to run down the clock for the rest of the day because there wasn't enough stuff to do. You'd run out of natural forageable resources that could just keep you going for the rest of the day, even if you just wanted to farm sticks and stones. So I went back through the forest map, adding some more trees, stones, natural fibres, sticks, making it all feel a little bit more abundant. And that sort of led into the next system, and it's something that I'd been putting off for a long time because it seemed like an absolutely massive implementation, and it actually turned out to be not as bad as I thought it was going to be. The forest now rotates between different layouts depending on the day. I don't have it fully implemented yet, and I only have 2 of the forest designs done, but each day pulls a different version of the forest from a small pool of maps. It's meant to mimic a procedurally generated world. I'm hoping that players won't really notice it until they play 20-30 days, so hopefully it gives the effect that I want for the MVP demo anyway, but it definitely makes things feel a bit different. There was also this weird bug with the Dreadroot enemy, which was the lad I added last week. Once you'd wake him up and you'd leave the scene, once you come back in, he'd be automatically dead. You wouldn't have to hit him, you wouldn't have to do nothing else, he'd just be dead. And basically what was happening was, World State was saving his HP as 0 as soon as he was instantiated. So as soon as you leave and re-enter the scene, he was spawning with 0 health, which was killing him for one reason or another. That's what was happening. So I got that sorted. It was a bit tougher than I expected it to because I really didn't know what was going on, but eventually got there. Yesterday I did something I actually haven't done for a long while, or I haven't actually done full stop. The forest that's in the game has been just made to test out the features and stuff like that, so I'm planning to keep that one because there's a good bit of nostalgia in that for me. If it proves to have a little bit more resistance down the line, I might end up getting rid of it, but for the time being I'm definitely going to keep it. I've only had the chance to upgrade 1 of the 9 layouts that I'm going to use for the MVP. It's definitely coming together well, but it's still a long way from being there, if you get me. So that's where things are right now. Crops follow the world clock, food cooks properly at the campfire, the forest has enough resources for a full run every day, and the world rotates between different forest layouts now each day, which is really nice and feels polished. It's still rough in places, but it's definitely coming together. And that's it for this week. If you'd like to follow along with this journey, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next devlog. Thank you for watching.